This is the Kitchen Sink WP podcast, episode 248.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger,
Faster. We have the technology.
Why, hello everybody, this is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. We have WordCamp Toronto, December 1st. WordCamp Ahmedabad, December 1st and 2nd. And that's the only WordCamps coming up, actually, next weekend. And a couple other things here, upcoming events. We have actually announced a speaker call for WordCamp Raleigh, which is in April of next year, April 6th and 7th. I am on that team again. I'm the speaker wrangler. And I'm going to put this out there. Two things. One, I challenge Kyle, Dustin, Sarah, Tara, Jen. No, Jen's already spoken here. So those other four, Kyle, Dustin, Sarah, and Tara, I challenge you to apply to speak. And if any incentive, as a speaker wrangler, I'm working on speaker gifts, and I'm pretty sure we're doing puppies this year. So there you have it. Okay, so if you're interested in speaking at WordCamp Raleigh, the speaker call is now open as well. All right, moving right along here. Segment 1 in the news. WordPress 5.0 is due tomorrow, technically, the 27th of November, 2018. But as of the 23rd of this month, it looks like it's going to be pushed because release candidate 1 came out and additional comments were made in the post there over at wordpress.org/blog that there's no date as of the recording of this. I waited as long as I could to record this, so there wasn't a date that I saw that the new date has not been announced as far as releasing 5.0. FYI, word has it, WordPress 5.0 is really just 4.9.8 plus Gutenberg, and it also has the classic editor plugin we think is going to be a default installed as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I've read that in a few places. So anyway, back up and, baby steps, right? So there you have it. So 5.0 was due out originally on the 27th, which was a day after this show comes out, but it looks like it's been pushed to another date. We just don't know the date yet. Also in the news, CyberMonday Deals. The day this comes out is Cyber Monday. So, some deals stick around a little longer. People forget to turn off the offer. The code still works. Still try the codes. If you miss it on Monday, try the code anyways or reach out. I've curated a few deals from Black Friday, Cyber Monday over at KitchensinkWP.com/holiday deals 2018. So you can always check that out. And I'm also going to be putting together a holiday gift guide in the next week or so. So wait for that as well if you are interested. Lastly, in the news, the Kitchen Sink Mastermind Survey. Yes, as I mentioned last week about being thankful for the first group mastermind that I was the lead of about 4 years ago. Without that group, with the 4 other people, Sam, Kyla, Shay, and JC, I wouldn't be here today. So with that said, after some people asked me more about masterminds this past week and over the past few months, I decided to go ahead and put together a survey to gauge interest to maybe doing this more, leading another mastermind in a program of some sort. So I put together the survey. You can take that survey. Let me know if you're interested. Go over to KitchensinkWP.com/mastermind survey and just fill it out. It's like 5-6 questions with your name and everything else. It's like 9 total. 9 is my number, but like the questions themselves, 4 or 5 questions. That's about it. And that would help me out. I really appreciate it. So there you go. Okay, moving on to segment 2. But before that, I want to thank a sponsor this week. That's right, I have a sponsor. This week's sponsor is Wallace Inline Editor. And for those who know, I'm a fan of using the Beaver Builder plugin, the theme, and the themer. The whole set of tools. And now I'm adding another piece to that puzzle, a Wallace Inline Editor to my toolbox. So what is it? How is it different than Beaver Builder's inline editing? Well, Wallace Inline Editor is inline editing on steroids. Simply put, Beaver Builder is for designing, Wallace Inline Editing is for editing, okay? And even though Beaver Builder has inline editing, it's still meant primarily for design and designers. Wallace Inline is meant for website owners and clients who want to make small changes and small, very quick edits and don't want to be distracted with the design functionality, okay? And my favorite feature, this is really my favorite feature, the fact that Wallace Inline also allows me to control tightly the experience of editing the website for the client. It has really deep grained permission control in Beaver Builder right now. Each text field can be locked down, or you can control exactly what the client can edit. It works with my third-party tools. I have UABB, actually I have UABB and Beaver Builder Power Pack. It works with those. And Wallace Inline is a complete standalone editing interface for your clients. It lets your clients manage their suite without distractions or the opportunity to mess up your hard work as a designer or developer. It's fast and easy. You're going to want to use it. Trust me. Check it out. Head over to wallaceinline.com. And thanks to Wallace Inline for being a sponsor this week. Really do appreciate it. It's awesome. Totally go check it out. Okay, moving on to segment 2, the meat potatoes of the show. This week, I'm talking about red flags. So back in episode 191, I shared 3 red flags about working with clients, and it's been over a year since that episode came out. So I wanted to add to that list. So here are 3 more red flags when it might be better to pass on a client's project. Okay, so now, if you missed episode 191, go back and find it, kitchensinkwp.com/E191, or you can link to it in the show notes as well. I'll put a link there. So number one, so when a client says, I've had a bunch of bad luck with a handful of developers. So my first thought was, really, a handful? Like 5 developers you've had bad luck with? Why and how? And after digging into this situation recently, I found out that, there's a variety of different answers here, but I found out that a few took full-time jobs, 1 disappeared, which is never good. Disappeared like off the face of the earth, disappeared from bad connections. I don't know, but it does happen. Developers do go rogue, silent. I get a lot of referral business that way somehow. People just don't answer calls anymore. They end up calling me. Anyway, so it's not good. It's also indicated another developer had some personality attributes that the client became afraid of that developer and they got locked out, or they're afraid they're going to get locked out. And this has happened in the past as well. I actually had a client back in California to where their developer took a deposit, did some work, stopped working, sued them for the rest of the money before they would unlock things. So again, there are 2 sides of the story, and then there's the truth. So, as a developer, if you're taking on a potential client and someone says, hey, I've had a bunch of bad luck with handful of developers, maybe 1 or 2, but more than that, for whatever reason, you kind of want to investigate, take some time there, because maybe it's the client. Maybe something is on their end that they aren't just the right type of client that you want to work with for whatever reason, and you're the 5th person, 8th person, 10th person to figure this out. And so then you disappear and you get clumped into that grouping as well of a, quote, bad developer. So be cautious there. Number 2, the, quote, no rush whatsoever project, quote. So sure, we all want flexibility when it comes to working on a project. Perhaps so you can find the creative juices, the flow, find the muse during a hard run. And when a client says, get it to me when you can, no rush. Early on, okay. I'm not a fan of that. And the reason is not good in my opinion. Having a timeline is important. Milestones, deliverables, payments for all parties. It keeps a project moving forward. Otherwise, things will just languish. Budgets might change or get canceled. Expectations are unmet. And of course, balls will be dropped. So when a client says, whenever you get to this, either redirect that conversation to a formalized plan or pass on the project. Okay. That's number 2. And number 3 here, missed calls. Okay, this one really irks me. And it happens often enough, or I don't know if it's often, it happens when it happens. Anyway, so if a client schedules a call using your service like Calendly, I use Calendly, or Zoom, or whatever it may be, or they email you, but they schedule it with you with your system. And then you call them, and they don't answer the phone, that's not good, okay? Even if they don't recognize the number, they should know your number. You should let them know your phone number is a 310 or a 919 or a, phone number is 415, whatever it may be. Give them a heads up if they don't recognize your number if it's a new client. But then the second level of this, if it goes to voicemail, and then the mailbox itself hasn't been set up to take messages or is full, so you can't leave a message, also not good, okay? On this as well, 3A, I'm going to say a 3A here. If they keep rescheduling, perhaps they're just too busy. And keep in mind, your time is valuable. Remember that. You need to be accommodated. You need to be valued as well, not accommodated. You need to be valued as well. If they keep rescheduling, that's just not cool. And last but not least, 3B, if you're on a phone call and the client has to jump off the call with you because they have their client needs their attention or something. Okay, one time, totally fine. But consistently, that's just rude, okay? If they haven't blocked off the 15, 20, 30 minutes or an hour for the call accordingly, and emergencies come up, yes, but if it's consistently happening, then maybe you want to separate yourself from that interaction and even keep the calls, not calls, but maybe have it just be email communications or something. So something else where it's not taking your total focus away from your own business. So there you have it. Number 1, having bad luck with potential developers when someone says that to you, no rush whatsoever type of project, and the missed calls when they schedule the call. Those are red flags. This might become a little topic for a potential WordCamp talk. Anyway, so there you have it. Yeah, just be cautious out there, people. Just make sure you manage your time and set the expectations and know that you are valuable as developers, designers, etc. Okay, moving on. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This week it is BugHerd. So I mentioned a couple weeks back about a service called, what was it called? Project Huddle. This is very similar. It's called BugHerd. It lets you install, I think it's a SaaS service. I'm not connected to them at all. Let me go to it real quick here. Because there's a paid version of this. It's all paid. It lets you it's a visual bug tracker, sticky notes on a website. Pretty darn cool. Ton of cool features. I haven't tried it out just yet. Just found out about it. You can use a browser extension or a JavaScript snippet. It's a virtual layer on top of your website that only your team and your clients can see. The pricing starts at $29, goes up to $180. Depends on how many users, 5 users, 10, 25, 50, etc. So check it out. It's over at BugHerd.com. I have no connection to them. I'm not an affiliate. Just thought it was kind of cool. I'm trying to get on to better practice here for tracking changes and bugs, etc. So I'm testing out some things, whatnot, in the space I'm in. Okay, that is it this week. Can we wrap it up here? If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use the speak pipe functionality of the website. If you want to support the show, you can become a Patreon, KitchensinkWP.com/Patreon. If you want to sponsor the show, like Wallace Inline did, you can do that too. There's a form on the website. And thanks for listening. See you next week, and go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right, bye-bye.